The Queens Cross Country program embarks on the NCAA Southeast Regionals this Saturday at Wingate University. And first-year head coach of the Royals, Kevin Licht, is here with us. Kevin, put into words the first season for you here in Charlotte. A pair of South Atlantic Conference championships for both the men and the women, and a pair of individual champions. Put that all in perspective, what do you think?
It's been a great year. I've really been happy with how the team's been doing, how they've stepped up to what my expectations are for the program. To have the two individual champions has been great. Hannah and Tom ran great races. But the team title, I think, was a little bit sweeter, on the men and women's side to really, set the standard for what this program can be and that consistency of being at the top of the conference. So it was a lot of fun to win both.
All season long, you've been ranked near the top in the regional rankings for the Southeast region. The men currently number 2, the women number 1. And you have climbed toward the upper echelon of teams in the country nationally, the men number 10 and the women number 16. They've both been higher than that, too, this year. When it comes to expectations and now meeting those expectations, how do you prepare your team for the national tournament?
We've been talking about it all year long, especially on the guys' side. They've been really excited this year to really make a name for themselves. That's the one thing that's been a constant all year. And so they've for sure been looking at the national meet since the first day of practice. And the women too, just kind of more from a different perspective. They're looking to repeat what they did last year, finish top 15 in the country. But really, the regional championship is very special to the women. They do want to come away on Saturday with the regional title. The men, they see it as a means to an end. They see it as qualifying for the national championships and setting themselves up to potentially trophy at the national championships. So, no, it's been great, though. It's been great that both of these teams are understanding what our long-term success can look like. So it's been a really fun year with both squads.
The goal Saturday is to make the national tournament and get outside the regional, and you have to be amongst the first 4 teams, essentially, to do that. Give me an idea of the game plan going into the regional meet.
Yeah, on the men's side, really what we've looked at is what's the easiest way for us to qualify for the national championships. So we've talked about getting out hard in the race, establishing our position. But then at a certain point in the race, I'm going to let them know, hey guys, you're good, and we can kind of take our foot off the gas a little bit and kind of cruise on home and save our legs a little bit. The women's side, it's a little bit of a different story. We do want to, it's very much our intention to win the regional championship on Saturday with the women's side. So that's going to take a little bit more racing, but the women's race at 6K versus the men's race at 10K is a little bit more forgiving. So we have the ability to race hard, come back for the national championships, and still run great at nationals.
For the cross-country novice, give us an idea of the competition, the playing field that you'll see. Obviously, on the men's side, ranked in the region only behind Mount Olive, and they're a perennial power that has won Conference Carolinas a few seasons in a row now. So lay the land for us. Yeah,
Mount Olive's a top team. I believe they're top 5 in the country right now, in a very similar position to us as being one of the top teams in the country. So it's exciting to see them. We haven't seen them all year. Behind Mount Olive is Augusta, ranked in number 3. They're going to be a tough team. They run as a group, so they're going to be very tough. I think they're a lock to go to the national meet. And then after that, you've got a few stragglers. Anderson and Wingate are in that top 5 as well. And tough teams, and I'm hoping for the best for both of those teams as they are SAC programs. I do want our conference represented well at the regional meet, but I think it's really far and away the top 3 teams on the men's side are Augusta, Mount Olive, and Queens. On the women's side, it's pretty much the same story. Mount Olive, Queens, and then I'd put probably North Georgia in there as the number 3, and again, Wingate and Anderson kind of on the outside looking in. But I think, Anderson's got a tough team. I think they can definitely sneak in for that 3rd spot on the women's side. But we're looking men's and women's sides from good races from Mount Olive this weekend.
So Saturday morning, you'll run these races for both the men and the women. Give us an idea of the practice schedule or the week schedule leading up to that. How do you prepare for the physicality of a tough race for those who haven't been out to the cross-country races before? It can get pretty physical.
Absolutely. Yesterday was our last hard practice of the week, and it went really well. It went exactly how we wanted it to go. So, I think we have a lot of positive momentum going into this weekend. Today is a recovery day, and then Thursday, a little bit more of a recovery day. We're going to get a little bit more mileage in, kind of do some faster stuff, get the legs turned over. And then Friday is pretty much a complete recovery day, very relaxed, very easy, just getting their emotions ready to go for Saturday, and it'll be fun. It's always fun to be in those, the championship part of the season, the racing part of the season. That's where it's the most fun.
Now, your team, both the men and the women, ran at the national preview meet earlier this year in Indiana. Both had successful weeks. How much has that prepared you, or more, in what way has that prepared you as you now take a shot at the national tournament, starting with regionals and hopefully getting through to nationals?
It was a big confidence booster for both squads. With Hannah getting the win in the women's race, getting a win on the national championships course is huge. But then also with the women, just a few points behind Southern Indiana, which at the time was ranked number 5 in the country. That was a big confidence booster. But on the men's side, to run away from the field, several ranked teams, and to run away from those teams without 2 of our top 7 guys was huge. So it was a big confidence booster, and anytime you can go to the national preview course, to the national course, and walk away with a confidence booster, that's huge going into the national championships, because we've already done it. A lot of teams are going to go to nationals and they're going to try to run well, try to have their best race. We've already had a great race on that course, so we know what it feels like. We've had the positive feedback on that course. So when we go into nationals, it's not unfamiliar territory to us. We're not trying to do something we haven't done before. We just need to do exactly what we did in September.
All right, we'll look forward to Saturday at Wingate as Queens. Both the men and the women cross-country programs will compete in the regionals of the NCAA tournament. First-year head coach Kevin Licht here with us. Kevin, congratulations on all the success here in year 1, and best of luck the rest of the way. Thank you.
Thank you.